So today we're going to be talking about parabolas. Some parabolas look like this, where it's facing up or down. We call it vertical. Or it's going to be a horizontal parabola where it's opening to the right or to the left along the x-axis. Okay, so vertical, it's opening along the y-axis. Horizontal, it's opening along the x-axis. Okay, so let's point out the different parts of a parabola. This right here is called the vertex. This point inside of the parabola is called the focus. The focus is a point that lies inside of the parabola. It is a point. If you don't have this blank, that's okay. Just put in parentheses at the end of your sentence that it's a point. This line that is outside of the parabola is called the directrix. It is a line, as you can see, and it is always outside of the parabola. The directrix is a line outside the parabola. And this information is the same even if it's facing horizontally. This point right here is still the vertex. This point inside of the parabola is the focus. And this line outside of the parabola is the directrix. Okay? Let's talk about the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry splits the line or the parabola right down the middle. So right here is your axis of symmetry. You can fold your graph along this line and it will be on top of each other. So this is your axis of symmetry and it is always perpendicular to the directrix. It'll form a right angle. Here, this is your axis of symmetry. It is perpendicular to the directrix. So the directrix and the axis of symmetry are perpendicular. Now, we want to make this uniform. The distance from the vertex to the focus is the same as the vertex is to the directrix. They're equidistant. They're the same distance, okay? So from here to here, if this is 5, that means this is 5 spaces away, okay? This is called the p-value. It is p units away from each other. We call this the p-value. So I'll label this up here as p. That's the distance from the vertex to the focus and from the vertex to the directrix. That is your p-value. So if it is opening vertically, either up, this is your equation. Y equals for vertical. If it's horizontal, it'll be an x equals. So for the vertical equation, it's 1 divided by 4p x minus h squared plus k. And guys, h and k, that is the coordinate of your vertex. Now, it would face down. What do you think your equation would have if it's facing down?
Negative.
Yep, if it has a negative in the front, you know it's going to be facing down. Now, let's review our definitions. What is a focus? Look at your notes.
Focus always lies inside. It's a point that lies inside the parabola.
It's a point that lies inside the parabola. So if this is your vertex, right here is your focus. If this is your vertex, right here is your focus. It's always inside of the parabola, not outside. What is your directrix?
Outside.
It's outside, and what is it?
A line.
It's a line. The directrix is a line outside of the parabola. So your graph would look like this if it's facing up, or it would look like this if it's facing down, because the directrix has to be outside of the parabola, okay? Let's look at horizontal. Your equation for a horizontal parabola is 1 divided by 4p, and instead of an x here, it will be y. minus the k value plus h. When you're in vertex form, h is associated with the x, k is associated with the y. So when you have a y on the inside, it'll be a k value. Those are swapped. Those are swapped. So horizontal, it might be facing like this. That's your vertex right there. Your focus would be on the inside. Your directrix would be on the outside. If it's facing the left, you're going to have a negative sign. If it's opening to the right, you'll have a positive sign. So if your equation has a negative in the front, it'll be facing the left. And your focus would be on the inside. Your directrix would be on the outside. Is that okay, guys? Okay. And it opens up if it's positive, opens down if it's negative. One more thing. Write focal segment. The focal segment is the segment that goes through the focus. I'm going to put goes through the focus. Okay? That is what your focal segment is. So it's a line, a segment that goes through the focus. It goes from one end of the parabola to the other end of the parabola, and it goes through the focus. That is called the focal segment. The length of the focal segment is 4p. If I were to draw it here, you go from one end of the parabola to the other end of the parabola. This is called the focal segment, and it must pass through the focus. This is your focus right here. And to find the length of this segment, it is 4 times the p-value. All right, we're going to apply all of this information to an example. So go ahead and flip over the page. We're going to do example number 2. All right, this is example number 2. Okay, so guys, my equation is y equals, will this be opening horizontally or vertically? Vertically. And look at that equation. Will it open up or down? Down because there's a negative. So this is going to open downwards. Okay, now let me remind you of the basic equation. What is my vertex? The vertex is h comma k. What is the h value? 7. And your k value? 2. So your vertex is at 7, 2. Another way you can think of this, guys, if you think about transformations, this went right 7, up 2. Right? Because it's always opposite inside?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and plot that vertex. It's at 7, 2. Right there. Okay, now let's figure out the p-value. Everyone look at my finger. This is where the p goes. 4 times what will give you this 4? 1. That means your p-value is 1. Because what you did was you erased this p, you plugged in a 1. 4 times 1, you get 4. That's how they got that. So your p-value is 1. Your p-value tells you how far away your focus and your directrix are. So your focus is going to be 1 space away. Oh, sorry. Don't write that. This parabola is facing down. Don't sketch this yet because I'm going to draw it more perfectly, but it's going to be facing down. Your focus is 1 space away inside of the parabola, and your directrix is 1 space away outside of the parabola. So that's what your focus and your directrix look like. The p-value is 1, so they're each one space away from the vertex. Yes?
Why is the directrix dotted? Why is it not solid?
You can do it solid.
Oh, okay.
I just did it that way.
So it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay.
Sorry.
Just
Why do I do it dotted? I don't know why I do it dotted.
I thought it was like, it was like,
Okay,
any solution going down
so your focus, it is at 7, 1. And your directrix, it crosses the y-axis at 3. So this is y equals 3.
there. This symmetry would be 7.
Yep, your axis symmetry, not just 7, what are you going to put?
At x equals 7.
Yes. So this is your axis of symmetry. That's the line that would split your graph in half. And that's the x-axis at 7. So that's x equals 7 for the axis of symmetry. Now, let's talk about the focal segment so we can draw this parabola perfectly. Remember, your focal segment length is 4 times the p-value. You guys told me that the p-value is just 1. So 4 times 1 is just 4. That means the line that goes from one end of the parabola to the other end of the parabola that passes through the vertex, it has to have a length of 4. So make sure you go out 2 spaces each from the focus. 2 spaces to the left, 2 spaces to the right, so that the whole thing can be 4. Yes?
So whenever you find the length, it's the length of the entire
Segment.
segment, and it's not just to the focus.
Right, exactly. From here all the way across is 4. Okay? Let's try another example. Are y'all ready? Okay, flip it over. We're gonna do number 8. What type do I have? Horizontal. The reason why I know it because it has x equals in the equation, so it's horizontal.
Left.
Yes, it'll open to the left because there's a negative right here. So it will open to the left. Now guys, this is gonna be a little different. Isn't it opposite in the parentheses?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's with y. So we're talking about up and down and not left and right.
Okay.
And it's opposite. So what does it do?
So it goes down.
It goes down and
Exactly. This is gonna go down 8. What do you think this is gonna say?
right.
Right.
Left 6.
Left 6.
Okay.
Okay? Another way, let me show you guys the equation. This is the equation. Okay, so this is just the same. H is negative 6. Here, what they did was they put minus a negative 8 right there. And those 2 negatives made that positive. So you actually went negative 8, which is down 8. So you can either think of it as transformations, it went down 8, or you can think of the equation. What number did they plug in to get that? They plugged in a negative 8. So it went down 8, so this is negative 8, and left 6. Everyone okay with the vertex? All right, so we went left 6, so left 6, and then down 8. All right, and you said you're opening to the left, so this is just a rough sketch. It's gonna look something like that. Okay, let's figure out the p-value. You guys have an 8 right here. The normal equation has 4p. So 4 times what gave you this 8?
2.
2, so your p-value is 2. Your focal segment, you do 4 times the p-value. So your focal segment is 8. Focal length is basically just the denominator. Okay, so guys, your focus and your directrix, they're both 2 spaces away from the vertex. So I'm going to go in 2 for the focus, out 2 for the directrix. That's my directrix. This is my focus.
Miss, I think I looked at the dotted line there.
The dotted line?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it makes sense to you too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why I like the dotted
It
line.
doesn't look right. Whenever, yeah, it does look kind of confusing.
Because I don't want y'all to confuse it with an axis, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's what it is. I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay, so your segment is 8. Your focal segment is 8. So from the focus, I'm going to go this way 4 and this way 4 to create 8 total. And it goes like this because it's opening to the left.
Oh, and then you would just connect it.
All right, so that's my graph.
I swear.
Let me answer these questions. The focus is at -8, -8, right? Because I just went 2 to the left from the x value. From -6, I went over 2, so it's at -8. The directrix, I went this way 2, so instead of at -6, I'm now at -4. Your axis of symmetry, what do you guys think that is?
X equals -6.
Really?
Oh, no.
Come on, you guys.
Axis of symmetry?
Y equals -8.
Yes, y equals -8. That's too
I
thick.
put it in the wrong one.
Your axis of symmetry is y equals -8 because it crosses the y-axis at -8.
That's very confusing. Why is
All right,
there-
guys, I want y'all to practice the rest of the problems on page 4 and 5. When you're done, come show it to me.
This is easy.